I think we should be back, but I'm not exactly sure. We are having slight technical problems, and sorry everyone. We are That's pretty much on us, the last break. So this time it's going to be, we knew how to fix it and it shouldn't happen again during this night. And here on the bottom left bottom right we are going all in because we are not still having and we are getting it in against the top set, so ouch. We got a huge bot there against top set with some pretty nice equity. Aces against top set on a drawy board, so like there are a lot of flush draws that he can have as well. And Korpistur says it works. That's great to hear. We'll hope that it continues working and we are having no more technical problems. It seems to be that we are always having some technical problems.
Kings versus aces.
Kings versus aces and their aces against the top set, so we are not having the best run for today. When we arrived from Finland today, we had the best run ever. Like through all of Tallinn, without stopping once for a red light. We got here like 15 minutes after our ship arrived. Like it can take well over an hour. Or close to 1.5 hours if you are on the wrong place in the ship and the ship is full. But we got the best places on the ship. Then when we came here, it was all smooth sailing, and that's what we are hoping to do today on this coaching session as well. That we are just going to coast through, take it easy, and I think that when he opens 3x, it's going to be interesting for me to shove there pretty wide, but I don't think that the guy that's there is going to be folding enough. Even though that he opens 3x, I think there is two good reasons. The guy that opens 3x is likely not that good, so he might be opening or folding too much of his opening range. So that's good, but there are some problems because when he's opening 3x, if he knows what he's doing, then it's going to be harder for us to be shoving profitably, because then he should also be calling wider.
So did I hear correctly that you already won one ticket?
Actually not. I have today won like 5 already. I played some high purse beforehand.
Okay, that's like awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that many of those tickets, but
we are going to bluff here with the Jack 7. I think that the bluff is going to have a decent frequency of going through. So I think that when he's just calling the flop, then checking turn, and then he's also checking the river, he's not going to have a full house that often, so we are going to have a decent spot there. And Korpisaturi 6k players left out of 60 players left in the $11 satellite. And actually, Dayah, how do we count the tickets, satellite tickets in the rahastusjahti competition on the Finnish side?
Thanks.
Not like I'm putting you on the hot seat or something.
Oh, no.
We have planned this all around, so we have the rules written down, and they are solid like the Bible.
Yeah, and they are all written in a rock and so on and so on. I have thought all the exceptions and...
Exceptions of the exceptions?
Absolutely. They're the best. And I think it depends. Because if you're gonna win today, it doesn't matter what are the rules anyway, because your team is gonna win. So
it depends on if I'm going to win Sunday Million today, that are we going to accept the satellite?
no, I think we are accepting that anyway. But if you think about all the other satellites,
There are pretty few satellites that are MTT satellites that are going to give away 3-figure payouts, and you are not going to get to the final table in the satellites ever. So, but how about if you are getting a ticket on a satellite? How is that calculated? Is it calculated as a final table anyway? Because you are winning the tourney still. And Johan is going to be shoving here wide enough, so it's going to be profitable with antes, and these guys are going to be folding enough, so it's going to be good. And here we are having on the Megapath satellite, we are nearing the bubble, still a few people to go, so 400 places paid and 944 remaining.
few more places to go. Almost nearing the bubble. I think you're being a little bit too optimistic there, don't you think?
It's pretty much the same on both of these games. We are needing to get rid of half of the players, or we are pretty much in the money.
And you need to double up perhaps twice to get there. At least once. Easily.
Yeah, but we are going to see that this Megapath, it's going to be really great value for your VPPs, because I think we got some overlay in here. For sure.
And then we didn't even get any action for our queens. Maybe luckily, because otherwise there would have been kings or aces as usual. I had the queens when I busted out from that $55 satellite.
Actually, on here, it's going to be an interesting situation, because usually you should be betting pretty much every time you are getting in an MTT, if you are getting a spot that you are having a spot that you opened and it gets checked back to you, and you are having a spot to make a c-bet there, you are pretty much required to make a c-bet, because it's going to be profitable pretty much anyways. But on the middle pair, I think that we are having too much showdown equity, and we are going to get too much equity out of the random players playing something other than AC strongly and trying to bluff us. So we are playing it as a bluff catcher, and now he got some equity on the river, so unlucky for us.
But he didn't bet the river, right?
Yeah. It's a bit hard for him to be profitable there, or he's going to be bluffing the river as well if he doesn't hit. But when he hits, it's going to be, then he's in a situation that it's going to be a bluff catcher for him as well. So it's a meddling hand, and I'm going to have some aces. And Korpisalri, fish owned you. You shouldn't be owned by a fish. You probably need to learn fishing.
Is that called fishing with ace-3?
It's going to be called pot odds when it's going to be, or screw pot odds if we are getting busted like anyways. So it's all about pot odds, because the guy was just opening with something like 5 big blind stacks, so he opened a bit over min range and he got the same amount left. And with an ace we are going to be in decent spot there, I think. Especially when it's an rebuy tourney and some players might be trying to get rid of their chips so they can double rebuy or rebuy.
I think usually in that kind of what you would normally ship, because it's a rebuy tourney, and only with monsters you should do a thing like that. Well,
And with Ace King I shipped. He opened small, and then I shipped the Ace King when I was on the big blind.
Oh, it was a different hand.
Our different hand.
Yeah, Ace 3.
Ace 3, yeah. That was exactly the hand I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about about his move.
Ah, about his move.
Yeah.
Then it's a different ball game. I get it.
Now you got it. No worries.
So. If Korpisoturi is like Alexander Geigel being the first draft pick in our Rahastusjahti competition, is Virpa being the Martin St. Louis there? Like, he's going to do most of the work for the team, he's going to do a lot of points, not getting the respect, and he went undrafted for all the years that he was draft eligible, so there is another ice hockey comparable.
My apologies to everybody who doesn't follow ice hockey that much, and that includes me. But it has been a game since the beginning, because we started these games approximately at the same time than the Olympics started. And he's a huge fan of ice hockey, and then there were some other guys talking about it, so we have had some really deep shit about hockey for quite a few times.
And here in the Megapath, we are going to be shoving this because there is a guy sitting out on the big blind, so we are going to hit the big blind way more often than we should, so we are going to be abusing the guy with the... We are doubling up in the Sunday Storm on the other screen.
So basically in a situation like that, you should be thinking about that it's more like shoving against one player, and
actually I'm not probably getting three streets of value if I'm betting it there, but I might get him to bet a worse hand there.
Good thinking.
Oh, I did win the pot.
He had king 2 deuce.
It's nice to be right in the start of the session because it's making this a lot nicer tourney session. Like the previous videos was so hard. It was a hard day to be doing anything because we got busted on pretty much all of the counts. Queen Jack suited I would be shoving bit, but not without the antes. It's not even close. So apologize, and I think I'm going to now discuss a bit about the strategy for the satellites. And we are having here a Sunday Million satellite that's going to be it's going to be $84, $82. So on average we can calculate that it's going to be less than 1 in 3 that's going to be getting in the money. So when we are more than doubled up, we are then going to be when we are more than doubled or we are tripled up, then we are going to take it easier because we are pretty much at the point that we are going to get the ticket. And also the $27 hyper, the point that we are letting off is going to be around when we are getting the 9 times as much. And then we are letting off, but we are not letting our foot completely off the throttle. We are carrying on aggressively still, but we are playing tighter, and especially against the same-sized stacks. And on some of these games we are going to be be very averse against the big stacks because they are also likely to know that when they should be tight. So, but we'll see. And there are some games where it's easy to know that when you are going to get the ticket. But then there are some games that it's not that self-evident. Like how do you think this $4,500 or 4,500 FPP turbo SAT is going to be? Because it's not that easy to convert the FPPs, but it's easy to convert here. Like about 9 times 27 is going to be. It's going to be a Sunday Million ticket, and here it's about 3 times the 82 is going to be a Sunday Million ticket. So those are the easy ones. And we are actually pretty close that we are ending our satellite discussion when we are losing our final crop of satellites. I'm a bit unsure about when it's going to be, but there is going to be.
Apparently Virpa has had some not that nice experiences with Canadian chicks. Fisherman's friend is something you should really be afraid of when you are talking to foreigner peoples about it. Salmiakki.
But fisherman's friend is not salmiakki.
But it's the same category in my head because it's weird,
strong.
It's strong, and it's not something most likely you're not used to that kind of stuff if you're not Finnish.
So you are afraid that you are going to be finished after drinking it? That was a bad pun.
That was very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. I had some Finnish candy with me when I went to England, and there were maybe 6 people who dared to try that, and all the other hated that they couldn't eat it completed, except there was one guy who loved that, and he was a Turkish guy, but he had lived like 10 years in Finland, so he got used to that taste. And that's my experience sharing my love with Finnish candy for foreigner people. It's usually not working. But
and when we are still in the satellite that we are playing, we are now playing this spot like there's only 2 players behind us, because this guy is going to be folding pretty much every time. Now he's sitting out for a long time, so we are going to be, and that's, I think Virpa hasn't had the problem that the Canadian chick wouldn't take the fisherman's friend, but I think that's more of a problem that someone liked the fisherman's friend too much. That's a weird problem.
It's not the quality, it's the quantity. Yeah, our puns are not really that good, so don't expect too much of that.
Yeah, we are not comedians, we are poker players. And I hope you are here for poker and not for jokes, because I think our poker game is going to be better than the jokes. At least our penguin jokes sucked. And our puns pretty much missing the target are.
or then they're just too weird or too insane or too inside kind of jokes that nobody really gets them. But to be honest, nobody really gets them.
Kings!
Why are you cheering?
Because I got a good feeling about that.
We'll see.
You are a bit more calm there.
I never ever celebrate before I see the river, because I have learned that on the hard way, that there is always gonna be another card after turn. And if there are outs, you are always possibly losing.
And we are not now looking the Justin TV chat, we are taking the Justin TV chat next, but we are taking it on the break because we had too much, or I had too much going on. And here I think that this Sunday Million satellite, it's going to be probably the most interesting, and it's going to have a lot of tickets. It's having at least 553 tickets right now, so like more than 1 in 2 players remaining are going to get a ticket, so it's well deserved a spot. We did an add-on there. Our stacks is still a bit in a horrible shape. This is going to be, we know where the bubble is going to be, so
I'm not sure if we are gonna stay awake. I do hope so, but I'm pretty sure that if we are gonna stay awake, we are not gonna be sane. So if you wanna see some really bad stuff happening, please stay with us. Because
that's like the weirdest promise ever.
More to follow.
Actually, I don't even know if that was a plus EV call, because we are so close to the bubble. In the tourney, we called the Ace King. Actually, it's going to be plus EV, but it's not as plus EV as you would think with Ace King there, because it's going to be a huge bubble. It's going to be soon, because we are having at least 560 entries there. So there are so many players that have been playing the tourney and already lost that we are having some weird equities going on there. It's weird. It's really, really weird. I think something like 8s I would be happily calling there, because I think that it's going to be a small pocket pair most of the time, or small to middling pocket pair.
I think you started this session by saying that these games are going to be so profitable, so whatever kind of moves you'll see today, I think you shouldn't be afraid, or you shouldn't be I think you shouldn't be surprised about anything.
But I should be afraid about anything, because anything can happen.
Yeah,
and the ranges can be anything.
That's true. You shouldn't be expecting that they are thinking about anything. I think that's fair to say. Aces on the other screen.
Actually, that's going to be really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
We are having probably a top 10 stack in $151 Hyper Turbo, so there is going to be interesting tables following up, hopefully.
So, more coffee. We are working on that. So, let's hope for the best.
Why does Sunday Million have to suck? Like every draw comes through. Oh well, we got money, so I'm happy. Now I'm going through all my tables if I'm... So it's going to be a 5-minute break. We are going to get more coffee, we are going to get more entertaining, and we are hopefully getting through our satellites for the Sunday Million during the next 1 hour. So stay tuned and we'll be back in 5 minutes.